are in Migori, Kisii, Nyamira, and Homa Bay counties, and also Narok County because we also encompass Kilgoris. Now, our practitioners in Kisii County are having a problem accessing services at the Kisii Lands Registry. Since the new land registrar came in, we've been having issues to do with service delivery and even simple things like acquiring a search and a green card. It has become a challenge because of the procedures being put by this new land registrar. We've been trying to reach the land registrar. He's not answering to our summons. We organize meetings with him. He's not honoring the same. And that is why we decided to petition the land registrar to implement a list of demands on which we have put in this petition here, which we will share with the members of the media. Today with me we have advocates of the High Court here to hand in officially this petition dated 29th June 2023 from the Law Society of Kenya Southwest Branch. We brought it yesterday, they refused to receive it. And that is why today we've come with fellow advocates to walete receive na tujue wameipata. We have a list of demands which we want zikuwe implemented immediately because service delivery is their core mandate, not to put challenges for the members of the public who are represented by advocates. Therefore, we'll be sharing this petition, and with me today we have representatives of the senior bar, that is Mr. Ben Gichana, and the chairperson of the young new bar, Mr. George Morara, whom I'd also want to say a word. Maybe to highlight just about a few of our demands. These are the following demands which we have. Number one, the issue of registering cautions. Cautions should be registered upon presentation of the requisite documents. Because you are receiving conditions that you have to come with a person with whom you want to register the caution against. Utampata wapi? Utafanya aje akuje? And that is the person with whom you have the dispute. In practice, a caution is registered once the requisite documents are presented by the aggrieved party. So we are demanding that cautions be registered as thus. Secondly, searches and green cards to be issued to advocates upon presentation of a practicing certificate and a letter requesting the same. The issue of telling us to come with a title deed, telling us to come with a court order, that is delaying justice. And that is unnecessarily putting the litigants through unnecessary costs, because to go to court you have to pay. It takes time. And sometimes we have issues which are very urgent that need the search and the green card. So we are demanding that once, as is the norm, once we have put our letter requesting for the green card and the search, and we have paid the requisite fees, the same should be issued without delay. Trying to get into the office of the land registrar to address their issues, which necessarily cannot be handled at the counter. The land registrar has been refusing to see advocates. He's an advocate himself. And that is why we are demanding that as a public office, and as we, the advocates, are the backbone of the legal sector, we have to be given access to his office whenever we have an issue that needs to be handled personally. Now, there's an issue of the power of attorney documents. Now, a power of attorney is the document which allows someone, you donate power to someone to act for you in matters to do with land. Now, the land registrar is demanding that we come in a certain form, which form is normally impractical. As long as the contents of the power of attorney reflect what the rules in the Act say, the power of attorney must be admitted and must be registered, because that is the law. The issue of putting necessarily and unnecessary hurdles, we say no to that. Now, we have an issue with conducting succession proceedings. Whenever we have received a confirmed grant from the court, the confirmed grant is a document which allows you to change names from your deceased benefactor to your name as a beneficiary. The land registrar is telling us to bring original documents from Nairobi, which documents are only in the custody of the offices, the relevant offices. Once a court has issued a confirmed grant, the same must be registered because that's a court order. What the land registrar is doing is akin to being in contempt of court orders, and that is why we are saying that the issue of telling us to go and bring an original gazette notice from Nairobi, to bring all the beneficiaries again to the land registry before him, is like conducting another succession course. And that is why we are saying once a confirmed grant is brought here and the administrator amekuja na kipande yake, they must be registered in that title deed. Now, Up and down, if you can see the counter there, we have about 3 staff. The number of people who come for services here, we have more than 100 people a day. That is why you find long queues here. You find people wanaambiwa rudi ukuje kesho. We need more staff. And that is why we were even trying to get the county commissioner to have him even donate some staff from there for the clerical duties at the counter. We need more staff so that the services can be given without delay. Finally, the policies that the new land registrars are bringing, of course, I know he wants to like streamline the service delivery here. But a complete overhaul of the systems will bring issues. He's here.
Join us. Deputy County Commissioner, kindly.
So the new policies which the land registrar is bringing.
He probably can come.
Yes.
He's a lawyer.
He is not one of you.
No, he's not touch on any of the contents of our petition. Our petition only touches on the issues concerning advocates receiving documents and the service delivery to members of the public.
Our petition was not received.
Our petition actually, what we came here today to do was only to present our petition and have the same received. I wanted to hand over this floor to Mr. Ben Gichana to also say a word before we can proceed.
As such, in the name and style of Nangacha and Associates Advocates. Now we have had a problem with the lands registry, and I think I had that problem from the first week the land registrar came into Kisii. We have had problems lodging documents in the registry, as outlined in our petition. We have had problems accessing the land registrar. He told us there's a form you need to fill and you will be given an appointment. And we have also had a problem with most of these issues you realize here, also touching on our practices, that the land registrar is basically locking advocates out of these conveyance procedures. We don't have access to him. When you come to the registry, there must be a loophole, one or another, where you will be returned back to your office. You'll be told, go and do this, go and do this. I have tried registering certain forms and on behalf of my clients, and I have taken more than 3 months. This issue has not been addressed. I have had to come here personally. I have not been assisted. And if we as advocates who are representing members of the public are facing these hurdles, you can imagine that common mwananchi who goes at the registry personally. You see? Now, for instance, we are being told when you're registering a caution, you have to go and bring that person whom you're putting a caution against. Can you go and bring, it is very impractical. Most of these issues are very impractical. We have tried to seek the audience of the land registrar. There's a time we called him to court, and he told us that in fact I should not be meeting you, I should be meeting members of the council only. And we are the ones who are being affected, and we are the ones who are raising these complaints. And sometimes we say, when you write a letter to the land registry, the land registrar personally told us, when we called him for a meeting, told us that he has no obligation to respond to any of our letters. So where are we heading if advocates have these hurdles? You can imagine that common person who goes to be served at the registry. You know, for instance, right now, assume you have a succession that was done way back in 1984. You cannot get that gazette notice. There's only one copy of the lands registry. When you go to the Kenya Gazette, they will give you a certified copy of what you will print. When you bring it to the lands registry, and I am talking about a case that happened a week ago. When you bring this certified copy to this lands registry, you are being told, no, go and bring the original. You see? And now this is something that has been certified by the Kenya Gazette as a true copy. What we are basically saying is there are necessary hurdles. It has been hard to work with the current regime. I think it's been around here for a month or two. And the service delivery has become impossible. There's a standstill here. We are not being assisted.
Even the clerks have issues.
So we have brought this petition here. Let me just cut it short. Our issues as outlined in the petition, we want them addressed immediately. If these issues are not addressed immediately, we will be your guests here for the next 1 week. We will be coming here every day until we are not begging, we are demanding.
Demanding
Service delivery. And
This Mr. George Moore is the chairman of the Young New Bar.
Now, advocates is to promote justice, advocacy, and good governance. the petition that has been presented here today by the Law Society of Kenya Southwest has irreducible demands. We are quite aware from the print media and all other sources of media that the Land Registrar in Kisii right now, Mr. Yenda, had issues in his former station. Yes. He had issues in his former station.
Let
Now,
us not go that direction.
the land...
Let us
the
bring
land-
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
The land registrar...
That is not what we are talking about here.
You cannot give us rejects by force.
That one I will not allow. We are talking about issues, not character assassination.
Public knowledge. Just outline the other issues. Outline the other issues.
The issues that we are bringing, the issues that we are bringing to light as the custodians of the justice qualified and having that capacity to represent citizens of this great country, Kenya. And now is a situation where we find ourselves that our hands are tied, our services are not being trickling down to the purpose of it. Now, the reason for us to stand here, Deputy County Commissioner, we cannot bury our heads in the sun. We have to be wise before, not after the event. We are not looking at a situation where we want regrets. We want Kisii County to continue soaring in success in matters of conveyancing, in matters of land, in matters of justice.
Amen.
Now, our plea to the public, to the general public and the administration is that the land registrar, as even as we stand in this place right away now, he has declined our request to meet us and sort out this issue amiably. That is the reason advocates have put aside everything and come here today. So speaking about the history of where the land registrar came from is not an issue that we should be stopped from speaking. Yes. We have the freedom. The Constitution clothes us with that freedom. Yes. Information, Article 35, information to the public cannot be limited. Yes. So we are standing on the tenets of the Constitution.
Yes. Amen.
Thank you.
The law courts, and unfortunately didn't turn up. That's why we decided to come and see the county commissioner through his office, and we are grateful, Deputy, that through your office we have been able to meet Mr. Yenda. Mr. Yenda, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
And I'll be very brief. That we have practical issues, and it's unfortunate that the fourth estate is creating a narrative that we are perpetuating graft. We have no interest. We basically represent our clients in such transactions. And I can tell you that personally I have not come to request for a favor from Mr. Yenda. I'm here as an advocate, and he has never seen me. What we are raising are issues raised by the members of the public. In fact, accessing services has grown to halt for the last 2 months since his arrival. It's quite unfortunate. And I expected him, being a native, that he could understand our traditions so that he is able to allow our members of the public access service. Like simple issues like the searches. Previous regime under Mr. Mokaya, we were accessing those services online. I don't know why, Mr. Yenda, you cannot allow us access searches. Why would you make demands that are outside the law? Wow. Some of those demands.
Extra-legal demands.
Why would he make demands that are outside the law? We are basically requesting Mr. Yenda kindly.
Follow the law.
Just follow the law. We have the law. Put you, and I would request that you post your you post your requirements on the board so that whoever comes there, it doesn't matter whether it's an advocate, mamamboga, boda guy, they can access services. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Yenda, in as much as you may be driving a narrative probably that you have in your mind, I could tell you, these are the best people, the Kisiis. We are ready for our services. We don't want favors. We want to pay for the services. In fact, what we request, just do your notices, put the demands, because every time you come here, the rules keep changing every day. That is the challenge. Like you come for a search, you are told go to survey, bring a map. Go to the Kenya Gazette, bring the entire. And in this era of technology, Mr. Yenda, I would encourage you to use technology. Nowadays, what you're supposed to do, is basically, if you have received a Kenya Gazette, simply go online, verify and ascertain. You don't need even to have the entire copy. You can confirm from Nairobi. And secondly, it's unfortunate that even our judicial officers are complaining you don't own a court summons.
Yes.
Like now, a court order is issued, you disobey, it takes a lot of effort, police officers come here. Why would you go to that level? Can you be a good gentleman? And I want to remind you, power is transient. Yes, you are serving for a period. Yes, and that's what I'm requesting you. Simply be a good man so that you have a legacy. Just services. Whoever wants to bribe you, just chase them away. But for services, just give us services. That's what we demand. That's the minimum. And our kindly receive our petition.
Yes. He has requested that you'd want, he is ready to receive,
yes,
but he will not.
Amepata, amechukua. Watu wako digital wanamwambia hata soft copy.
I can't see your chairman here. Yesterday we were supposed to have a meeting and I'm the one who convened that meeting yesterday. In the morning I called the chair, we have a meeting today. He tells me he's going to Nakuru. But I tell him we have a meeting with the CUC and the judge has called me for a CUC meeting. I go attend the meeting together with the chairman. Then the chairman raises the issue that we have an LSK meeting at Court 5. Whether I have done an apology. I tell him, Chairman, I invited you to call your members. We have a meeting together. But if we are here, then to whom am I making an apology to? He said, okay, the judge tells me, kindly reschedule another meeting and have those issues resolved. Thank you very much because you have brought this one here. I look at it, I'll respond to it. At the end of the day, I have done no. This is how we receive our document.
Okay.
The other date.
Done.
It is for the Ministry of Land, Physical
Proceed.
This land register.
It's received.
Let me show them that it has been received.
It's been received.
But you have signed it. You want me to sign? I will do everything you want me to.
How will do it?
Proceed. You know the voices.
Proceed and sign. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
And this is the fullness of
all said and done. All said and done. I never wanted to give a media briefing and I've never been telling media briefing. But because it's here, it's not an issue of forcing. There's no force here. I have nothing personal in this land registry. Neither do you bring these issues as your personal issues. No. I guess you are the one I talked to sometime last week on phone and you know what we talked about. Let me tell you, this registry must be reformed and I will reform it. That's one thing that I must...
the law.
Just a minute.
Within the law.
Yes. Within the law. And I want to repeat this. Kisii Land Registry will be different within the law from now going forward.
Yes, within the law.
And everybody who wants to join me in changing this registry with 80% of the records that are forgeries, occasioned by the land registrar seated here, together with the same lawyers who are now talking about whatever they're talking about, with very powerful...
Kiburi must go! must go home. Kiburi must go home. Ayenda 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 must go home.
Now that is the guy we are supposed to deal with. If we can deal like that way with advocates, what about the ordinary mwananchi? What about Mwamamboga and the border guys? This guy, he wants to reform the county using his own means. He doesn't want to use the law. Ayenda must go.
Ayenda must go. Ayenda must go. Ayenda